Hello, everyone, and almost good Shabbos. I want to say one thing and share with you one idea before we leave Pesach. One more thing about Pesach. I know we had a long week of Pesach, but the previous video I sent before the last day of Pesach, two people asked me a question about it, and I want to come up with a new idea. So they asked me, if the last day of Pesach called Atzeret, why we need to celebrate 2 days? And this question is the obvious question. Yes, in the diaspora we celebrate 2 days, but it's hard here more than maybe others, because in Sukkot we kind of find a different meaning for the second day. We have Shmini Atzeret, the holiday that we celebrate from the Torah, and we have Simchat Torah, we dancing, and there's two different ways of celebrate. Even in Shavuot, we can find different meaning for the second day of Shavuot. We find that even the seventh day of Sivan is holy, and maybe it's also we can find meaning. But in Pesach, it's very hard because we can't find any place of holy day in the 8th day of Pesach, and we have mitzvah to eat only 7 days, and it's complicated. Why we need to celebrate another day, except beside the reason of that you need to celebrate 2 days of Yom Tov. We can find also one way of solution that the previous rabbis in the past generation in different area of the diaspora find meaning to this day. We can find Chabad, for example, that they create for this day the day of the Mashiach. Okay, they make a Seudat Mashiach, the Mashiach feast, and they make a very important kiddush that they say that all the last day of Pesach is focusing about the future Geulah, the future, the Mashiach will come, and they're talking about what great will be this day. Very close to this thing, the Morocco and different areas of the world, in Morocco, they create the Mimuna. In Israel, it's very popular, the Mimuna, that this is the Chag of the Emunah, the Chag of belief. And they hope again to the one day will Mashiach will come, everybody will be together, and they hope to the future. So we see that in two ways we looking for the future. We can see also in Kriyat Torah that we supposed to read yesterday was, first of all, we're reading in Dvarim. We're reading about how to celebrate Pesach in Israel, not just how the story what happened. And the Haftarah, we're talking about the future Geulah, we're talking about Kibbutz Galiot, all the people coming back from all the area of the diaspora to Israel, and Hashem going to coming back to Israel, and it's going to be a great. We're reading the psukim from the Havdalah. הנה אל ישועתי אבטח ולא אפחד, כי עוזיב זמרתיה ואל אלישע ושאבתם מים מששון עם עיני הישועה. It's a beautiful haftarah that I feel that everyone that in the diaspora that's reading gets some hope that one day the story of Pesach will come again. Because I think it's such a beautiful haftarah, it's very interesting to see that in Israel we also read this haftarah. Because when you read this haftarah, it's only in the second day of Pesach. But when the Rabbanut HaRashit, the chief rabbis in Israel, 7 years ago, create the day of Yom Ha'atzmaut, like to celebrate the Independence Day of Israel, they want to make it as a holy day. So we singing Hallel, but also we say we need to read in the Torah. So we're not reading the Torah because you can't just create a Torah reading, but we're reading Haftarah. Which Haftarah we read? We read the Haftarah of the last day of Pesach. So if you think one thing that Israel took from the diaspora is this Haftarah. So we have in Israel, we don't have second day of Pesach. We read it in Yom Ha'atzmaut. And I think it's very important to remember it. First of all, that Pesach is not over. Pesach is just the kickoff for this day of this national day, of these days of hope. We're going to celebrate all the next 2 weeks, maybe more, the day of the Memorial Day of the Holocaust, Memorial Day of Yom HaZikaron for the soldiers, and of course the Yom Ha'atzmaut, Independence Days. All these days are focusing about the meaning of Pesach, to coming up from slave to freedom, and this is a process. And we're starting with Pesach, but we not stop there. And I think we need to think about how we today, what we're doing with this idea of Pesach, of freedom. Is Israel is the answer? Israel is also just a process. What we can do to be part of this process of coming up from slavery, of being a very small nation out of nowhere and coming up to be a strong state and strong nation. What do we need to do to be part of this process? We're going to talk about in the next videos about it, but just to understand how it's important to take the last day of Pesach and maybe to see it as a window to the new times, to the times that you are going to, that the story of Pesach, of the Geulah, will come again. So hope we have a great month, and hope for a great Besorot Tovot. And the next video we will discuss about the connection between Israel and the diaspora and how we think we can make this connection better in connection to the days of that are going to come of the Independence Day, Yom Ha'atzmaut. Have a great Shabbos, and see you soon.